Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast with your host, Chris. I am always that guy. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 189, 11 away from 200. I do math good. Welcome, everybody, young and old and young. First-time listener, returning guest, whoever. Happy to have each and every one of you listening. So I get tired of talking about the same things in these intros, like my Twitter and Instagram, both at castingfor2, or my email, castingfor2@gmail.com, or the other podcast I do with Megan Johnson from tipsywriter.com. It's called Sunday Brunch, which can be heard at sundaybrunchpod.com. It gets annoying just always talking about this stuff, so I think I'm not going to do it. And instead, I would like to know, how are you doing? Oh, really? Well, that's great. Okay, let me take it back if you're doing bad. Oh, no. I'm sorry. There we go. I just see. I'm catering to everyone out there, and I'm also trying to kill time, so I'm good at it. But I should talk about my guest for today. My guest is a wonderful actress who can be seen on the ABC show American Crime, and she is so wonderful to chat with. Her name is Mickaëlle Bizet, Mickaëlle X Bizet, and I just had a great time chatting with her. I love talking with actors, and it was just a real pleasure to chat with her. And you know what? You're going to find out when you listen to this episode, okay? It's great. So sit back, relax, and Chris, cue that music, please.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's Chris from Casting for Two.
Hi, Chris.
Hi. How is your morning going so far?
So far, fantastically, so it's a good thing.
There we go. Now, I'm curious, how much sleep do you get?
That's a really crazy question because I don't get much, and I'm trying to use my phone to tell me, okay, it's time to go to bed so you can have at least 7 hours sleep, and I never listen to it. So maybe 4.
Okay. All right. Now, are you just a night person, or you just got so much stuff that you have to do?
No, I have a lot of stuff I have to do lately. I have a lot of stuff I have to think about and strategize about. But, I love in France, because I'm from France, we have this saying, I think you have it also in America, is that the world belongs to the people who get up early.
Right.
So I've always wanted to be one of those people, and I was when I was a high school teacher, because I had to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning every day.
Right.
But it's difficult when you have like that type of schedule in the entertainment industry. You know, it's like so weird. It's not set every day, so it's difficult.
And so when I'm curious, because I love time management. I think I'm okay at it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to brag. No, but when do you find time to do work and also your personal things, and workouts, stuff like that?
Well, it depends. Work, I'll always find some time to do it, even if it's late at night or in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Working out, that's harder. But yeah, personal, there's not a lot of personal, but I don't mind, because I've decided a few years ago that my kids is going to be my acting career.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, that's basically my acting career. Although it's business, it's also my personal. That's what's in my heart.
Right.
So I'll always find do it. I'll do things in the middle of the night if I have to. Like, waking up at 4 o'clock to get on set is absolutely not a problem for me. So I try.
I've always said that, if you like what you do, it's really not work.
Oh, it's really not. It's really not. It's just, it's just life. It's your heart. It's what you love. So it doesn't, no, anything that has to do with acting so far does not feel like work. Oh, I have to do this. It really doesn't. It's the opposite.
Right.
It's like, give me more.
And when did you know acting was something you wanted to pursue?
Oh, I never knew. It was just, it's not like I found out one day watching a movie, oh my God, I want to do that.
Uh-huh.
I always had in my mind, there's not a time that when I go back in my memories, there's not a time where I remember not having that desire. So I really, truly believe, and that's going to sound whatever, but I truly believe that I had that before I was even born.
Okay.
I think I believe I was born with that desire, wherever it came from, but the desire to just tell stories, acting, I think it was always in me. As a little girl, like I remember visualizing me being on set as a tiny little girl. Like I wanted to be like, play children in movies and TVs. It was always in me. My mom didn't know what the hell to do with that,
Yeah. And so when did you, because you said you were a teacher before?
Yeah, I was a high school teacher. I started teaching in 2000 in Boston.
Okay. And when did you say, you know what, I'm going to take a shot at this?
Well, it was always, I always try to take a shot. In France, when I was growing up, there were no black people on TV really, but I always tried to take a shot. I would do crazy things, like when I was in high school, I would try to find casting directors' addresses, and I would just go around Paris and put things in their mailboxes. Back then, they were open. It was a slot you could put it in, and I would just do that. Like looking back and like this would never worked. But
right.
When you really want something, you think, even when especially when you're a kid, you don't think about it's not going to work. You just think about I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this like this. So, like it was always in me. Even when I moved to the U.S. to be a nanny, and I know that in the back of my head unconsciously, I came so that I could do the acting thing. So the first year as a nanny, as an au pair, the program has an educational component, and we all have to take some type of class, anything a class. So all the au pairs were talking about, I'm going to go to Harvard, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to a college course. I was like, I have to take a class. Oh my God, I'm going to take acting. So I started taking acting class in Boston again, so it never left me. It's just when I really decided I'm moving to LA is when I started reading about what you think in your mind, what you feel, like how you program your mind. That's what's going to happen in your life. Things like something that Einstein said, imagination is everything. It is the preview of your life's coming attraction. So when I started learning about the power of your mind, I said, that's it. Like I saw The Secret years ago. In 2008, I came across The Secret, and then I started reading all the other books that are around that type of thinking.
Right.
And that's when I said that I don't even care if I know what I'm gonna do when I get to LA. I'm moving to LA. Just take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. That's Martin Luther King. So that's when it was always in me to do it, but that's when I was like, F it, I'm doing it. I'm leaving. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to keep taking little steps. So that was 2008 when I decided that. And a year later, like after that year of teaching, I resigned and I came to LA.
Okay. And so when you get to LA, well, first I'm always interested in talking to actors because I'm very curious how you all get into the certain mind frame to play a character. What is your process of getting into character?
Well, I like to know the internal aspects of the person, because if you're going to play somebody that seems horrible, it's you. So you kind of need to accept that person somehow, and not judge that person at first. So I like to understand their perspective. Like I had to play a woman. She's alive. She's in prison. Her name is Veronica de Ramos, and she attempted what we call a fetal abduction. You know, you open a pregnant woman's stomach and you try to steal the baby out of it.
Right.
And to play somebody like that, it's like I have to understand where she's coming from, you know, in order to accept being her. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm not playing somebody who's trying to steal a baby out of somebody's stomach. So I did research on fetal abduction and on her in particular. So, my process is basically, first of all, trying to understand the person's perspective.
Okay. And is it hard for you to leave a character behind, or is it something that you do and it's just, okay, goodbye, person I played for, weeks?
Yeah. It depends on who. Veronica, it's not her that's stealing me. Interestingly, it's the person that she kidnaps. Tika Adams, like I Google her once in a while, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I just want to meet her so badly. So Veronica, and it's funny because somebody asked me that question too, and then I realized that, Veronica's face in my mind is blurred, but Tika's face, her daughter, are crystal clear, you know? So then I started thinking about Veronica again, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, is she getting help? Like, does she understand what she did? So I still think about those two because it's it was such a crazy story. Now, Gabrielle from American Crime, oh my God, I don't know if it's because it's so recent, but I'm telling you, she pops up all the time. You know, you go through things in life, and I'm going through situations where I have to stand up for myself, and I'll always like have Gabrielle in the back of my mind, like, oh my God, like just speak up for yourself, Miko. Like, just do it. Tell them how you feel. Take care of yourself, because she had to in the season. So Gabrielle is very much with me every day right now.
Okay. And so what is the process for getting on or auditioning for American Crime? Because that's it's a serious show. It's a drama. Can it be heavy sometimes for you?
For American Crime, you would have thought that like I had to prep really hard for the audition. But what had happened is that she ends up speaking French the whole time. She's from Haiti, but she ends up speaking French. But at first, like, the sites that I got for the audition were in Creole. They were in Haitian Creole. And I grew up in Paris, but I was born in Martinique. It's a French island. It was colonized by France, just like Haiti, except that Haiti got their independence. So it's like my island and Haiti are like cousins. And so when I was in Martinique when I was a kid, because we stayed in Martinique until I was about 2.5 years old, and going back there from France on vacation all the time, I always thought that Haiti was part of Martinique. That's how close we are to, culture. I always thought it was like just a city over there on my island. And so I grew up and realized it was a completely different island. So Haitian Creole, I heard it all the time. I listened to Haitian music growing up. It was part of us. So when I got the sides and they were in Haitian, although it's not my Creole, it's very close to my Creole, I was like, let me double check that it's correct. So I called my friends, my Haitian friends, and they made a few adjustments. So basically what happened is that I was so focused on doing the Haitian Creole really well that I did not even think, what's going on in the scene? What's my thought process? What's my motivation? That did not even cross my mind. So I just went in and just did it, and it worked. It was so weird. And thinking back, I'm like, how the hell did I book this when I did not even really, paid attention to what was going on? Then what happened is that I just did it naturally, because I think it's probably because of the fact that I came to America just like my character. I came to America to be a nanny in an American family. And I had that exact same thing, like the audition side. One part of it was coming in the airport and being all like, oh, my God, I'm in America, and the family coming to greet you. That's exactly what happened to me. So maybe it just came back out, naturally what I had, lived. So, I didn't prepare the character itself. Gabrielle just came out naturally. Mm-hmm. But the hardest scenes, that's a different story. Like, I had to prep,
And so I'm just wondering, being a person from around the world, lived many places, what is the one thing, if you can take from any of your places that you've lived back to America, what would it be? Whether it be like a food, a phrase, a word, just anything.
What? Something that I missed, you said, or that I like?
Yeah, something that you wish Americans would adopt.
Oh, what an amazing question. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, this is so loaded. As a teacher, because when I was a teacher, I always oh my God, I wish that American education and European education would just merge, you know, because I grew up, my first time seeing multiple choice tests were in college in America. I had never in my seen a multiple choice test. I was like, are you telling me that you're giving me choices for the answers, and in those choices, the right answer is there? You're telling me I don't really have to think about this? And I don't even have to write like a complete sentence in a paragraph? Like, that's crazy. I was flabbergasted by that, because I remember that in France, even in elementary school, they start you thinking and writing in complete sentences very early on. So first you answer with one word, then you answer with two words, then you answer with a complete sentence, and very quickly you answer with 2 sentences, 3 sentences, 5 sentences, paragraphs. By the time you're in the 6th grade, you're writing papers.
Yeah.
You're writing papers with an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, and it's major. So it's very focused on thinking, analyzing, and organizing your thoughts very early on. What I like about so that's what I like about European education. What I like about American education is that you're in school all day.
Yeah.
So it can't just be about school, you know. I like that you guys make sports a big part of it, and like not socializing, but you know, it's there's other things happening in schools.
Right.
There's 2 in schools in America. There's the education, and there's also, you know, you as a human being. We didn't have that in France. In France, it was just school, 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 and mind you, you're in school all day. You're not done at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. You know, sometimes I would be in the classroom until 6 p.m.
Ugh.
So, yeah, like the thing that I would love is just to merge the 2 ways of educating children. But they're starting to do that. I've noticed that there's more and more a bigger push on teaching children how to think, rather than just, you know, ingurgitate a whole bunch of facts and, you know, then throwing them back out. So they're really trying to teach them to analyze and organize and think for themselves. So that's a good thing.
There you go.
But then the food. Can I get like those French boulangeries at every corner here?
Absolutely.
So I can still get my baguette every day.
I will say I went to I did a whole tour of Europe, not all of Europe, but when I was younger, and being an American, I was at every hotel we stayed at. I was excited for breakfast because I like breakfast,
right.
And I was just, where's the eggs? It was always pastries, and I was just like, I can't do this. Where's the actual food? So that was a little bit of adjustment for me. Now that I'm older, I'd probably be like, okay, whatever, that's fine.
But I also, like, when I first came here in Boston, like, oh my God, I was just so excited about going to those diners, and you sit on those high chairs, and then they make the eggs and stuff, you know, like in the toast, like TV. It was the best. You know, I had my favorite one where we lived in Boston, and I would go there every Saturday morning. So it's like what you're talking about. That's the epitome of like the American breakfast.
Right.
And I got used to that very quickly. Although my American family, you know, the people I was a nanny for, and they're still in my life, it was great. When I get to the house, in the kitchen, they had this big, not a painting, but like a picture in a frame, and it was a French breakfast, picture of a French breakfast, coffee and the croissant and the newspaper. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because people always think it's weird that I drink my coffee and I dip my croissant in it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, that's so normal. That's so normal to me.
I'm not a coffee drinker, but I just be like, dipping anything, it's like, all right, that makes sense. It's like dipping a cookie in milk.
Right. You guys have the dipping cookie in milk. We have the dipping the croissant in coffee or in hot chocolate.
Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't sound that weird to me. I think
Right.
Americans should be respectful towards French people that do that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank
What
you.
what has been the best advice you've received during your acting career?
During my acting career, well, there was something I saw online. And you see so much online, you wonder if the person they said it is that the real person. But when I saw this, it was something that Will Smith had said,
Mm-hmm.
and he had said, once you get to like whatever project, and let's say you have a hard scene, you do your hard scene. Once you're done with your hard scene, don't go play around on set, and
Mm-hmm.
because you have to think about the fact that you're not the only one. There's other actors that need their concentration or whatever. So that just stayed with me. The whole, yeah, it's your passion, you love being there, but it's also a job, and you also have to respect everybody else that are putting all this work into the job. So I always try to be very careful, once I'm done with something, I just like stay away and try to respect the other actors that are working, or the crew as well, because it's like everybody's part of this big picture. So yeah, that was one thing. That was one great advice. Is just, don't forget, it's not all about you. It's about the story. These are the people that are working to make that story amazing. So just don't play around while somebody else is trying to like cry in front of 100 people.
Right.
Yeah, but the most recent one was live. It was when I was in Atlanta with the cast and the producers, and Benito Martinez. He's so amazing. And we were just having a casual conversation about life, and I think we ended up talking about how you behave when you reach a certain level in the industry.
Right.
And he said, you can't believe your own hype. And I was like, what do you mean? I have to believe my own hype. I have to be my biggest cheerleader. I'm thinking,
Right.
I'm here by myself in America. I have no family. I used to have low self-esteem. Now I'm comfortable enough with myself. So I have to, cheer me on. And I have to believe my own hype because in the case that somebody else doesn't believe it, I have to still believe it. So, I didn't get what he said. So at first I was like, no, Benito. And then I shut up a little bit, and he kept talking. And I was like, all right, let me just think about this. And maybe a couple of weeks later, because I'm in this, I'm at that level right now, with American Crime. It's a big show. It's an amazing show. People, it's critically acclaimed. So I'm trying to be don't get a big head. Don't get a big head. Just enjoy the moment. And as I'm saying that to myself, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think I get what he was saying. It was so much simpler than I thought. He was just basically saying, just enjoy yourself, but stay humble.
Right. Stay
humble. You can still believe in yourself and go for what you want and be assertive, but still don't forget to stay humble. Stay humble. That's all he was saying. And now I'm like, oh, thank you for the reminder. So yeah, it sounds so simple, right? But when you're in it, it's so crucial.
Right.
It's crucial to stay.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
For the people at home who would like to keep up with what you do, where can they do that?
Well, I'm most active on Instagram and Twitter, I would say. My Instagram, it's easy to remember because I'm French, I'm Black, and I'm a girl.
Okay.
So it's at the French Black girl on Instagram. And on Twitter, and if you look for that hashtag, if you search hashtag the French Black girl, it's all me. And on Twitter, I am Mickaëlle Bizet without the X in it.
Okay. Sounds
good. I'm on Snapchat, all that stuff, but you can just go on Instagram and Twitter, and then you'll find everything else.
There we go. Well, Mickaëlle, I had a blast chatting with you, and whenever you want to come back on, you are welcome.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I'd love to.
Now, I feel like I should let you go and continue your day doing awesome things.
Yeah, thank you so much. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.